Do you know the reason why I love the NDC? Do you know the reason why I'll always choose the NDC over MPP? I don't know. Maybe it is. It is. You know, for me personally, I don't believe in coincidence, right? Minji coincidence indeed. So maybe it might be spiritual, or maybe it is the fact that NDC for Yankrophobia or Mutie Kasa. Samuni Amobekaya somewhere last 2 weeks, maybe a report. Now it was a report on Asiedun Ketia, Tor, na Woko, Muni Amokai. In the report, no, mema efutuo bi me analysis bi or report nim. Me ka say Asiedun Ketia dia wo ye no, very strategic. Na me no mefo no so. Ena me sanso ma efutuo say the other people are women so per se omo contest after Mahama no. They should also be doing certain things. Muni Amokaya me bought very two specific names. Bakon Julius Debrah. Me ka say me nanka me Julius Debrah shoes more. I'll start coming into the media more. What you say? Me sha say me avail me to the media because I don't think say we've had a media personality sit down to have a one-on-one interview with Julius Debrah. It looks like a lot of Ghanaians know him from afar, but media ni microphone share the name no. Nti me you know a me sha say me ba more into the media. Me sha say Ghana for ebehu ni papa me ye because you obi a ye kan His Excellency John Dramani Mahama memu nim ejuma pa obi atrese wo ye ejuma ne pa eyo no. But a lot of people don't know his role. And Ankrofo na no say they don't really know his inside life like that. Nti say futu no na me kan say me Julius Debrah ka me sha say me ye bibisa me open up to Ghanaians. Ena me sanso bo obi ti say bia Haruna Idrisu ana Eriko Poku say me yo no a ono nso say me nso me hye da ye say me ye me campaign because it looks like Asiedun Ketia is taking a lead. Asiedun Ketia nye government appointee, but he's going on a tour. What you say? Inti abebo Asiedun Ketia, he will be in a comfortable lead. But me you be to say ebia a Greek minister na me nso me pese me dane a year president no ambition na. Me so me sha say me call official tour. Me sha say me juma na me ye as a Greek minister no. Me di be chin. Muni amoka say me masa analysis na. Guess what? This week analysis 2 na me maye no. Nini na eba. These two people are me boom din ye analysis no. They are doing exactly what I said. So it is either NDC for etie omo mpanyimfo bi a omo tie ana say you see great minds think alike. But for me I may say I don't believe in coincidence. Maybe it is something they originally planned. Na me na me baba dwen ho ansa na America because I dwen there eni baku for trim. But for me it's quite interesting that 2 weeks ago exactly what I said is being done today. So we are going to go into what is happening, campaign at Air Coastal, and then who personally, no, it looks like I am leaning towards, no. Maybe I'll not mention the person's name, but you see, you know, the person I'm leaning towards. Mubehu, me shall say me kasafa ni pakone hu ye no hu videos ni nyama mubehu say melodies wakwa supporting ni pakroyi, and there's nothing wrong with supporting someone, okay. And then first time Montreal mo adwen comment box ni mo. Before we go into the main story, Michelle se wutie mi na wefuso efu kese yare either say wefuso na mamenka asemo either say wefuso and say wo dofo bia na efuso. Listen, the best thing you can do for the person is let the person know the obeye beba nefu no akofom natural. Na saa de no so person hu de obeye bema wefu akofom a in the comment box there is a book. Auto book ni bia obehu nyama miense wo se wo ye. Number na wo screen is no 055 807 4986. Call that number or WhatsApp that number and you get the PDF of that book and then you know what you have to do. Now, Mame Fan Fame still on the book, no. Moi moto book na especially a man na moto book na ma mukunu ne mo boyfriends no Nyankopon hira mo. Mo ya de papa. Mo ehu ne se mo boyfriends efu aye kese mo ehu se mo kunu efu aye kese nti no moto book na mo no me se nyame on hira mo. You see, sometimes in mawo unya sometimes a mema oba bisa na epe because obema na ngasa na ebi ono neni mbaso but wo oba no o yes ade ne mema na sa nyama bisa na epe o like wadwen ne ho ato bibi sama ne se mira yesi book bi usua nyama bi ewo mu ebema wefu ate wefu na ba form nti o de yema me force no no nye mba de ye nimo. You have a way of letting your husbands do nyama mo person mo ye force no no nye. Na moi so far a lot of every day almost nkrofo mienu ebe frame me o melodies me kunu pese me toma ni kunu pese me toma me boy pese me ye we me say emana mo yes ade na nyame nhram. Now let's come to the story. So this is Honorable Eric Opoku. Inti Honorable Eric Opoku a Minister for Food and Agric, and we are hearing that he also wants to contest and also air plan say opeso contest after His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. What you say inti wo hia ono nso yesi or visit Achim Asante Achim Agogo. Inti aye ho flyer said the Minister for Food and Agriculture Honorable Eric Opoku is scheduled to visit Asante Achim Agogo on October 3rd, 2025. Joining him will be the Member of Parliament for Asante Achim North, Honorable Ohene Kwame Frimpong, and the District Chief Executive. At your saying, Eric Opoku eko Asante Achim Agogo. Di ntia na oko. Nansi ye ni enim se Asante Achim Agogo mu videos aba abonten eye omo MP no in tools ehun sensem ba ya ye my Excellency John Dramani Mahama ba beto in tools no e de call ye no. Inti no it's hot. The news is hot. And it is prudent for him to visit them. What you say? So he is visiting them, which is, what you say, it's good. I'm not going to lie. He's tapping into the moment. And Okohwa, for all you know, no, but to me, I mean, on to me Okohwa without meeting NDC for or meeting NDC delegates, right? He'll go there, probably meet some NDC delegates, have a short meeting with NDC delegates. Obe to me the name senator with on your campaign straight ahead so your campaign ABA but on also ne juma no into ye juma de na so indirectly or ye to just like I said say some more person more counter as you don't get here they should also start doing things like this and indeed that's what he is doing. Okay into no onone dia no o hwe Julius Debrah so dia clearly no ono so wo hwe esisim what you say your true story. You see the story of when Julius Debrah abandoned school for trade, turning into a young millionaire. And you know, senior American Julius Debrah, a lot of people probably don't know the inside stories of him. And the advice I give, and they say he should open up. On share say Ghana for be huno. Now say any health work our warrior ya. Me share say nanka Ghana for him that side of him. And right now there is a story on the front page of Ghana Web. I say Julius Debrah send you nya ne sika ne kra ne say o abandon school na ka so ko school o se wonko eno koko digwa ene man ne ba beda ne sikeni. It's an interesting story and probably I'm not sure say omo outside the circle so no munim sa story way into no so ne de no good strategy just as I said yen ken kan nsemo oka nsemo a omde ato say the chief of staff of Ghana granted an interview in 2022 to popular vlogger Kwewu Ambassador, during which he shared some of the details of his early years and how he made millions for himself. In that interview, he spoke about his second love, apart from politics, trading, and how as a young man, he achieved so much for himself. All these, he said, happened in the early 1990s when he chose to focus on business instead of even his education. He explained that as a Kwewu indigene, the thinking then was that a man is measured by the depth of his pockets and not his academic degrees. So being that young, he was guided to learn trading from Okanshi chain of stores. Wow. So see oye Kwewu ni, me sure say na nkrofo be kre nim say Julius Debrah ye Kwewu ni. Me say na me nim. So see oye Kwewu ni na kwewufoɔ deɛ yɛayɛ nim sɛ ɔmo pɛ business sika. And this time no ɔhyɛ aseɛ sɛ ɔdi dwa ɛwɔ ɔkanhyi chain of stores. Ɔsɛ having abandoned the idea of going to university after leaving Achimota School, Debrah stated that he was one of the finest young entrepreneurs in the Kingsway building at Tudu, Accra in the early 1990s. Ɔsɛ as a young man, he owned a car, had enough money, and had built a house from his hard work at that time. Nti no, Onyasikantem, Jana no dininti, Onyasikantem. However, he said when his Achimota classmates updated him about their lives, some being managing directors in some companies, he felt the need to go back to school despite having enough money then. In the 1990s, majority of the people thought the strength of a man then was solely money and not school. So I didn't want to go to university. I stayed at Okanshi to work for some time. At a point, you meet your friends and they tell you I am managing director in some of the big companies. Even though I had built my house, bought a car, and had money, I was not feeling fulfilled. So I had to go back to the university. I was only interested in business as a Kwewu indigene. At that point in time, in the early 1990s, I was one of the youngest entrepreneurs at Kingsway, now Swansea Shopping Arcade. At the time, I'll say Heritage Towers and others had not been built, and the Kingsway building was the place for many businesses, some offering critical services to the trading community, he told the vlogger. The chief of staff added that the successful people like Sechi Abankwa, J.S. Ado, Chumbuafo, and Kandapa were all operating from Kingsway building at the time as he was. I wasn't known then. Then I met late President Mills, and the rest is history, he reiterated. Julius Debrah was speaking to Kwewu ambassador vlogger after a meeting of the indigenes of Kwewu to launch a book on the renaissance of Kwewu. The program attracted Kwewus from all spheres of life, including those involved in politics and governance, commerce, tourism, real estate, and others. Julius Debrah, who joined his fellow compatriots from the book launch, then spent some time speaking about the ways and means that the government in 2022 could support efforts towards developing the tourism potential of Kwewu and thereby transform the cool hilly towns into world-class tourism hubs. You see, and I'm not going to lie, after reading this about Julius Debrah, Obibe to me with BBC about Julius Debrah, no one say, oh, Papa no. Me, after reading this about Julius Debrah, what I would like to do is I would like to meet him. I'd like to meet him to give me some tips. Because if there's one thing I've never tried or I've never done in my life, it is about probably trading. Right? I've never traded in my life. And I like to learn new things. Okay? And if you answer to the obi the tongue upil. The tongue. Intimation Julius Debrah. Maybe this is our story about Julius Debrah. Ubi Samia. I like to meet him. And if I meet him, maybe sano. Maybe a po. As a young guy, if I want to start trading, nitrimuno, najwimuno, being an expert in the field, no. Watch me. I sure some Ghana for multi mekrano. Baby na mu baby sasa question no. What does he think I should go in? How or Shasia saying one na menu mu betumi akasa na ma she bibia ase. Ati ase. You know, it's interesting. So that's that. Montreal, what your comment box ni mo. But I say.